How's it going, everybody? My name is Mike Montgomery, and today I'm gonna be showing you how I built this DIY mobile planter slash privacy wall, all with basic tools on modern builds. I'm gonna start by cutting these 2x6s to length for the base of our planter box. To create our front wall, I cut 2 pieces at 48 inches long and 1 piece at 45. The walls of our planter base are gonna be 3 2x6s high, and the middle piece is gonna be 1.5 inches shorter on each side. This is gonna create a box joint with our side panel. The back of the planter doesn't have this box joint feature though, so I just cut 3 pieces to glue up that are all 45 inches long. And to reinforce all of these glue joints, I'm going to be using a dowel jig. This will also help with alignment during glue up. I added just a dab of glue where I'm going to put all of my dowel pins, and I inserted those before I started clamping everything up. After the dowels were inserted, I could run a thick bead of glue along each of the edges joining this middle board, and then clamp everything up. These dowel pins keep the faces of the boards on the same vertical plane, and that really helps during the clamping process. I added 1 extra clamp in the center of the glue up, and after letting everything dry for a couple hours, I came back and unfortunately found that the ends of my glue up weren't perfectly square. So I trimmed about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch off each side to make sure that they were. This was easy to do with my 12-inch speed square. I just cut half the panel, then moved my square to the other side, and then finished the cut. I also trimmed the same amount off of the middle piece for our front panel. Then I drilled dowel holes in the 2x6s for that front wall, and it was time to build it. During each of my glue ups, I tried to make sure that I used plenty of glue, that everything would be really sturdy, but I was trying to prevent a bunch of glue squeeze out because I didn't want to have to clean up that mess. I think the box joints are going to look really cool on this front wall of the planter, and the side walls are what's going to be interlocking with it. On these though, the middle board is what's going to be the long one. The short boards are 12 inches long, while the long one is 13.5. These both came out looking good, and I made sure to clean up the glue squeeze out. In preparation for assembly, I trimmed the ends of my front wall to make sure that they were the right thickness for the 2x6 to interlock with. After that, I used my pocket hole drill bit to drill recessed pilot holes everywhere I'm screwing this planter together. Now, let's get these 3 pieces put together. I added glue on the inside of each of these joints, but I really think screws are going to be plenty strong for this task. I'm using 2.5-inch long coated outdoor screws. Before building this project, I was a little nervous that these 2x6s wouldn't be the exact same width from the store, and that could cause a little bit of complication during assembly, but everything went smooth. These box joints ended up looking really cool, and that is super square. And next, I'm gonna grab the 2 2x3s that I'm gonna be using for my vertical supports for our privacy screen. These will also be the corner posts that connect our back and the rest of the planter base. I cut these vertical supports for the privacy wall about 6 inches longer than I need. I'm gonna trim them later once I'm sure that they'll be flush with my top slat. I added glue to the first post and then clamped it in place before screwing it down. These screws are also recessed, and they're all going to get backfilled with a wood dowel. It's important to make sure that you're getting everything assembled as square as possible, and you've got good straight 2x3s from the store. And the back wall also screws through this 2x3 posts into the ends of the board. And I wasn't expecting this, but my 2x3s ended up being a tiny bit thinner than my 2x6s, and I didn't notice that at first. So I added this thin 1/4-inch spacer to keep everything square. And now the walls of our planter are complete. Let's focus on the bottom, or the base. I'm currently attaching this reinforcement block. This is where our casters are going to attach to. It's also the positive stop and what we screw into for the bottom planks. After attaching a middle support, I cut some 2x4s, and that's what's going to create our bottom. I used a countersink drill bit to make sure that all of our screws are going to be evenly spaced and look nice, and then I could put these boards into the bottom of the planter and screw them down with some 2.5-inch screws. Having a little bit of extra weight on the bottom of this planter is a good thing because the privacy wall is going to be a little bit of a sail with the wind. It's also going to hold a lot of dirt and plants, so that's why I'm using 2x material instead of 1x. And from here on, I'm not going to have any more recessed screw heads, so I got a 3/8-inch dowel and I backfilled all of those voids. Then I came back and I used a flush trim saw to trim them all flush. And now we're gonna start focusing on the privacy wall section of this planter rather than the box at the base. And right now I'm cutting 2 pieces of 1x4 to the same height as our vertical post. Then I'm cutting it into a square on my table saw. This is gonna basically create a backer for all of our slats. This piece is what the horizontal slats will screw into and then be capped on either end by the vertical posts. I added a healthy bead of glue onto the joining edge before clamping it onto the 2x3 and then drilled some pilot holes before screwing it down. I did the same steps on the other side, and I should mention I'm using 1.5-inch long wood screws here. And now we can move on to the slats that are gonna make our privacy screen. But first, I'd like to give a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode. Squarespace is your one-stop shop to build your own website or online store, and that has never been easier with their cutting-edge design tools like Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder. Plus, you can get discovered fast with Squarespace's integrated SEO tools. They do all the technical back-end work to make sure that you show up more often on search engines, leading to more customers. With Squarespace Invoices, you can impress clients with on-brand invoices and streamline your workflow from proposals to contracts to invoice and seamless online payments all in one place. And finally, with Squarespace email campaigns, you've got all the tools you need to engage your clients, promote your services, and build your business built in. So to learn more, make sure and follow my link down in the description. That's squarespace.com/modernbuilds, where you can build your site before entering any of your credit card info. And then when it's time for your site to go live, don't forget to use my code ModernBuilds for 10% off your first site, store, or domain through Squarespace. As always, big thanks to Squarespace and you all watching. Now let's finish up this planter. Welcome back. Right now we're cutting our first slat for our privacy wall. We'll check this fit. Perfect fit. Okay, let's cut a lot more of these. These ended up being just shy of 45 inches long, and in total, I'm gonna need 10 of these pieces that are full 1x4s and 10 more that are cut in half into 1x2s on the table saw. I'll alter these during assembly, and I think that's gonna make just a slightly more interesting look rather than just a bunch of uniform 1x4 slats. All of my screws are going to be visible, so I made this quick little drilling jig to make sure that they were all going to be spaced out evenly. This just takes a second, but makes everything look way better. I also created one for the 1x2s. It looks so cute. For a spacer, I'm using some scrap MDF. This looks like 3/16 inch thick. If I did this project again, I would space my slats out 1/4 of an inch. I started by screwing down a 1x2 first, and I'm gonna end the whole run with a 1x4 on top. I cut all of these boards that are running horizontal so that they were a really tight fit in my 2x3 frame. With each row, I just moved my spacer up, and I made sure that I didn't have any gaps starting to get created on the ends of my board. At the very top of my 2x3 posts, they were flared out just a tiny bit, about 1/8 of an inch, so I had to pinch that in while I screwed them down. And if you're curious, I'm using 1.5-inch long trim head screws. This is going really well. These screws have a lot smaller head than traditional screws, and they kind of sit beneath the surface of the wood on their own. I'll make sure and leave product links down below. We're now down to our last 1x4. I'm gonna move my spacer up, and then with this top piece in, I'm gonna mark where I wanna cut my 2x3 vertical posts so that they sit flush with the top of that board. If this isn't a cut that you're comfortable with, then I highly recommend laying down your planter. That way you can cut it in a more traditional way. But this worked out really well. That worked. I still think though it's a little too risky to preemptively cut these before the horizontal slats are in. Super pro! So now it's time to put in the final board of our privacy wall feature for this planter box. And then I got another 1x1 board, and I used this as a spine on the back of this whole panel. This should keep all of the slats in our privacy wall on the same plane and keep it from bowing in or out. Then, last but not least, I cut another 1x4 to length and width as a top cap for this whole wall. I think it just helps give everything a nice, finished, clean look. It's kind of the top to the frame. I sanded this entire build with 80 grit first and then came back with 150 grit in preparation for finish. The 2x6s were quite a bit of work to sand, but the 1x4s were really fast. I bought a pack of 8 2-inch casters on Amazon for a really killer deal. I'll leave those also linked below with everything else. I screwed these in with some 3-inch long construction screws. I want to make sure that this is really heavy duty. It's also screwing into multiple boards, which I think is good. The game plan now is to get this planter up to the front porch, and that is where I'm going to apply stain. And look at that. Or if I want to block off this side of the porch, it totally blocks off the neighbors that way. I'm using a Behr outdoor stain and seal in one. This is a cedar natural tone color, and I really love the way that it looks on pretty much all pine, cedar, and fir. If I did this again though, I would have used an applicator pad instead of a brush. And instead of traditional planter pots, I'm gonna be using these fabric planters. Whoops, let's try that again. These came in a 5-pack and were a great price. Now I just need 3 more of these. Oh, and these are each 5 gallon. And I've been saving these sweet potatoes for a while just for this occasion. My plan for this planter is to make it a potato harvest section. I got this sweet potato with some really long starters, and then another normal potato that I cut in half, and this has got quite a few eyes growing on it already. And now the stains had time to dry, and it looks awesome. We'll put it in place here in the corner. Super pro. And the next step was to put the pots in the planter. And I'm happy I did my math right. They all 4 fit. I am very happy with how this project came out. I think it looks awesome and it's a really practical, functional item. If you build one, let me know down below. And if you're curious, that's what it would look like with plants. Pretty awesome. I photoshopped it. And it still looks good from behind. No pun intended. It feels pretty stable with weight at the base. I'm not really worried about this blowing over in the wind. And one nice thing about this is I've got locking casters, so if I ever want to put it somewhere and lock it down, it's pretty easy to do. And hopefully I've got some potatoes really soon. Potatoes. I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. I've got free plans linked in the description if you want to build this for yourself. And we will see you next time on Modern Builds. Bye, everybody. And I can't lie, after making one of these, I'm thinking a second one would look so killer on the west side of the porch, blocking that neighbor and the evening sun. I'm surprised. I like this more than I thought I would.